Hello, all you lonely boys out there. Welcome back to the Lonely Boy Hour, the only podcast. Today I am joined with my co-host, Trazi.
Hey, it's
Say
me.
hi, Zoe.
It's me. Hi, I'm Trazi.
Very proud of you. And today, guys, we have a double feature. Back to reclaim his throne, we have Connor Toss himself of TikTok News.
That's me, man.
And a special treat for all of you fans out there, we have the only person who successfully roasted us, Roomba 2017.
Yee.
The perfect intro. So let's jump right into it. So how you guys all? I'm gonna use the cheat sheet immediately. How you guys all feel about that 20? Try one again. How do you guys all feel about that Area 51 raid? We haven't done this in like 4 weeks.
Gosh.
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready.
We're all
both
ready.
just ready.
We're both Naruto runners.
So wait, no, hold on, Zoe, are you gonna go? Because I need to find a new podcast host if you're gonna.
I'm fucking carpooling, man. Like,
Okay. So you're not? Are you taking Dadley with you?
no, I'm taking Liv. Well, I mean,
Okay, cool.
I don't think Dadley wants to die yet.
No,
He's got
don't
kids.
take Dadley. I need him as a backup host.
Can I get
Also,
corporal
he's
on
got
that too?
kids.
Because
Yeah,
I think you need more Naruto runners.
Yes.
Connor, are you going?
Going to what? The
Area 51 raid.
suicide mission to the most heavily guarded government agency like on this planet.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw there was a bunch of people that were like, "Hey, man, like, you know what?" And this is the thing that I was like, "Oh, that's true." So it's in the middle of the desert, right? So one person was like, "Hey, yo, like, I don't think you have to worry about the people with guns or the fact that they probably have the entire U.S. military at their disposal. How about just the fact that it's in the middle of like a blazing hot desert with no water or any like
That's
way
the
to
primary
like hydrate
concern.
yourself unless you bring a tank of water with you?" I was like,
Hydrate or dihydrate.
that'd be a tough way to go.
That's how you're going to advertise the podcast. Your last words will be hydrate or dihydrate.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll be holding a brand new hydrate or dihydrate water bottle.
Oh, why?
Now
Why do you think I'm going? I'm selling merch. Obviously, I'm gonna sell water.
Yeah, speaking of which,
God.
I am actually working on our merch, and I assume by the time this episode comes out, it'll be ready.
Oh, yes,
So
I'm
get
so
yourself a link in the description. So get yourself a hydrate or dihydrate water bottle, what we all want, and then
Yes.
email us photos
Please do.
at lonelyboyhour@gmail.com.
Trash, are you making merch? Is that what I heard just now?
I've been making merch for like literal months.
I'm making merch.
So
That's
I've given
for
it
the
to Kelvin.
podcast.
My merch for my channel is just going to be done through the Lonely Boy Hour podcast.
I know.
because
I've thought
I'm
about
sending
making
everyone
mine
there.
on the Lonely Boy Hour. Like I already like when people are like, "Hey, how can we support you?" I'm like, head on down to my podcast Patreon.
Yeah, I'm sending everybody there. Like literally everybody.
Help me get out of the closet.
Help
Really,
Kelvin get out of the closet.
we are radio
I
professionals.
just died a little
yes.
bit on the inside.
Out of the clock.
Were these the cringy moments you were talking about, Roomba?
Yeah, these were the cringy moments. I was like, oh god, this guy's about to have a stroke. I'm gonna turn off the podcast. I don't want to be a witness to like some sort of death. I'm good.
So I will also. This is going to be just a nightmare in the description here, but I will also put a link to the video where Roomba roasted us.
Oh, please do.
In case you lack
Heck
that
yes.
that context, and make sure to comment. I guess, because he just needs more.
all over
God,
it. All
please
over
no more. I already have like, you know what? Hold up, I can get my phone.
You know the I guess thing started here on the podcast.
Yeah, Connor told us about it, and now it's a thing.
I have hold up, I'm gonna get it out. I have currently on that video 468 I guess.
I'm ready to be roasted. I want that many I guesses.
Yeah,
It's not worth
I
it.
told Connor. I specifically remember telling you to do your fucking worst, and
What?
I lay unroasted.
I'm sorry, sir. I seem to have missed that last thing you just said.
I clearly told you in the last episode to do your fucking worst, and here I lay unroasted.
Yeah, I haven't been roasted
It's
either.
okay. You know what? So I ended up doing, because I had a lot of the last 2 days, it's like as soon as I got home from work, I fell asleep. But at work, I would accumulate a bunch of things. I wrote some scripts, and I have around like 17 videos to just crank out because I have this week free. Trash is in there. This other
have a roast?
guy who sounds like Morgan Freeman. But don't you worry, man. I can include you in there. No sweat. It takes like 2 seconds.
Yeah, you just gotta insult me on like a side note.
Just like a direct, be like, and apparently that's the thing. When I'm doing a video on you when you just get a small, I guess, and you're like one of your videos, probably don't think about it, and the next day.
And then I think about it the next day, just flooded with I guesses. It's a sign of fear. I actually I don't know. I don't know if everyone on the platform now. Like, come on, give me that TikTok news roast.
Yeah,
I assume everyone wants you to roast them.
I would like to say it's a fair statement that every other video there's someone saying, "Yo, man, like, can you do a roast on me?" I think I already said this before, but the funniest thing is you do that anywhere else outside of TikTok, and I'm like, who do you think you are? But you think you can insult me? You trying to fight?
Yeah, but you do it on TikTok and everyone's like, roast me, daddy. I'm so sorry I said that. I am so sorry I said that. All right, I will be leaving the podcast. This is my last episode.
Okay, Connor, you're the new co-host.
Well, apparently,
all right.
According to everyone else, it was my podcast to begin with. They're like, "Oh, who's this trash and noodle doodler? This is Connor's podcast."
Yeah, it's not like we've done like 5 or 6 episodes without you.
I'm just like, I'm not the.
This is only going to make it
podcast,
worse.
But I'm just not on the podcast.
You're our producer.
Exactly.
I'm actually going to start putting that in every episode. Like in the end credits, it's going to be like edited by Kelvin. Planned by Kelvin, guests brought to you by Kelvin, but also produced, executive producer Connor Taz.
It's okay. You can just use like what happened when the Paul brothers came out on YouTube. That's a good clout, Just like I don't even have to be, the video doesn't even have to be about me or the podcast. Just there's his name right there. Connor Taz must be involved somehow. We
mention you every episode for that reason. Every single episode.
I think the best part is, so look out for that. Like now that I have free time, but Roomba, so this other guy, I don't know if he mentioned him already, but Connor the Crusader, I don't know how he found him, but I went through his content, and I guess I'll give you a sneak peek of what I'm going to say, because I agree with Roomba completely. He was like, "Yo, man, like, we got this Connor the Crusader guy making all these roasts on people, and it's kind of like empty, like he's just stating like facts, like, oh, this person's mean, they're not doing right stuff." It's like, that's cool, I guess. But then you go onto his other content, which is all Minecraft videos, and it does like 5 times better.
Wait, and Roblox, Minecraft and Roblox.
Don't forget Roblox.
But it's like, you got this kid, like, he went after Roomba. He made a video on him because what was it? What happened, Roomba?
So yeah, Roomba, the person you're talking about is on the podcast, so we can tell the story.
Yeah, please tell us.
So basically, what happened is like I was just scrolling through, and then I just found this guy, like Connor the Crusader, and I was like, oh, he's just another Minecraft creator, so I had no problems with him. But then I started going into his more his more edgier videos, talking about like, oh, this person's bad. Basically, if you had like a person with a Bob Mom haircut just saying like, oh, he's bad, oh, you're bad, oh, I don't like you, it's just really just annoying, just like, I don't know, it's just like basically essentially just nagging about like other people and what they can and can't do on this platform. And I just was really sick of that, because the thing is, it's like people on TikTok should do what they want to do, and they shouldn't be nagged by someone else just saying how they're bad or their content isn't good. That just really pissed me off. So I was like, I'm gonna make some videos on this kid, because he seems to be like 18-year-old, but I don't think he is 18 years old. I think he's 12, like secretly hiding his like face with the little like the little like toxic mask. So then I started making some videos on him, and I was like, well, you need to improve your grammar, basically. You also need to improve like your argumentative statements. His comment, so his thrash back to that was basically like, oh, you're defending someone. I was like, no, I'm not defending anyone. I just seriously think that your grammar and that your arguments are lacking. And then of course he had his followers come at me. Basically, with any follower, it's like a toilet paper on your foot where you just can't get rid of it. So basically his followers came in, just started saying, oh, this person's horrible, this person's bad. He's defending this person, or she's defending this other TikToker who is like bad in every shape and form. So then I just was like, I don't think he understood what I was trying to say when I just meant his arguments are bad and that his grammar is horrific. So I'm gonna make another video. So I make another video, right? And this video, he gets really upset now. I thought I made him upset the last time, but this time he comments 4 separate comments under my description. And then he adds me in one of his videos. And not only that, he then makes another video basically just ranting about how I'm such a bad person. But then he deletes it later on because he knows that he would get in trouble for that. But I think it's so funny that someone with like 100,000 followers is coming at someone with only 54. Like,
I thought that was the cool. So we got Roomba over here. He basically started his account just to roast the podcast, and he kept it going. And he's getting the attention of all these people that are like thousands of times more popular than him, and they're coming to his
people in the knee constantly.
Roomba's like, yo, man, like Connor the Crusader, like, who do you think you are? Your grammar sucks. And then you got this high and mighty 18-year-old saying, no, I'm better than you because for whatever reason. It's like, bro, what? Stick to your Minecraft videos.
And that's what I stated too. I told him, stay in your own lane. You can't roast people. And then of course he's like, oh, these aren't roast videos. These are just like highlight videos. I'm like, I'm pretty sure highlight videos aren't just like a compilation of videos. What you're doing is you're basically looking at someone's video and just stating that they're bad, the entire thing. That is not a highlight video. That is just a poor. You know what that is? Those are playground insults. Those aren't roasts. Okay, Those are playground insults.
The best kind. And this is coming from the roast master.
Exactly. Can we?
That's the name of the episode.
Roomba, please.
This episode is going to be like episode 7 with the roast masters.
Yes.
So wait, what did you ask? Why did I roast the podcast?
Can you talk about the roast for the podcast? Because it seems interesting to me that you just decided your first video on TikTok
out of seemingly
was
nowhere. We don't really know what happened. Yeah, we just saw that video and we're like, oh my god, we have to get this guy on the podcast.
Yeah.
So my motivation behind that was actually really pure heart. It was like I liked your guys' podcasts, and I was like, I wish that they had more clout because then they'd be able to make more content. They'd get more Patreons. So I was like, I should shout them out on my channel, even though I have no videos and I have no subscribers. Like, I'm going to shout this guy out. And I'm like, wait, hold up. If I just shout them out, no one's going to respond to this. Everyone's just going to, I'm just going to be dust in the wind, right? So I was like, how about I make a roast video on them? Because no one likes to talk about just, oh, check out this other, TikToker. They're so great and kind. Everyone looks for negativity.
Right.
So
Nobody
people are
wants
like,
positive news.
no one likes
I believe the
positive
term
vibes.
is the TikTok news approach is what that's called.
Yes.
So basically I was like, how about I roast them? Because if I roast them, I'm going to get more notoriety, good or bad. And then people are going to want to watch the podcast and see, quote unquote, how bad they really are. So my entire premise for roasting your guys' podcast for you guys to get more clout, and that was it.
That's so wholesome.
I love it.
I genuinely thought you didn't like the podcast and you were coming on for shits and giggles.
When I saw it the first time, I was like, oh my god, this person hates the podcast. What did we do?
I know. I saw, my thought was similar. I'm just a little more evil than Zoe is, because my first thought was, oh my god, he hates the podcast. This is perfect.
I was just like, how do we make it better for this person? And then you were just like, oh yes, I'm glad you hate it.
I guess. It was also perfect timing because Connor was trying to find a way to talk about the podcast, and then that pops up.
Yeah, literally.
It was beautiful. It was actually, I guess TikTok even helped us out there because I was sitting there like, how do I roast the podcast without roasting myself? And then Roomba just came out. He was a blessing He just kind of came up in the For You page. There it was. It was like, there you go, Connor. You want a reason? This guy made an account for you to roast his account and this podcast, and he's involving you. So there you go. I don't know what else to do, but I was like, all right, I'll just say, hey, in TikTok news, Roomba, and then put Roomba, and boom. I didn't even do the roast. It was Roomba.
Yeah, because it was like, you didn't have to do anything. Like, all you had to do was slide in. Like, I don't even think you had I guess yet.
I did not.
I think that was like when it was becoming a thing.
And I think did I tell you that how I was trying to find something super simple just to put the
Yes.
No, you told us you wanted to do I guess in our episode. That was where your catchphrase was birthed.
It was birthed
from this podcast.
The first
I'm sure
time
you had. It was said out loud by no one has ever said I guess ever before this podcast, and that's why this is the only podcast.
Exactly,
the only podcast that anyone needs to listen to by themselves and not with their friends.
I'm glad no one called my shit on that when I started the episode with the only podcast.
I giggled, but I was like, "It's true."
I had an idea and then I lost it, so I stopped and I just kept going. That's most of this podcast is me forgetting what I was gonna do.
I feel like that. I mean, how else are you gonna fill up an hour and a half?
Yeah.
Pandering.
We are doing that.
That's how you do
That's
it.
pandering for an hour and a half.
Pandering.
Featuring lazy questions, horrible editing, and cringy moments.
Heck yeah. So we already started off there. We got some content there from Ruba saying, yo, we got this Connor the Crusader guy. We got Trashy trying to pronounce the word closet and then doing blah.
So, real quick, while we're in this roasting area, you want to talk about how two of the people on this podcast right now lost their microphones?
Oh my goodness!
Oh.
I don't want to name
Leave
names.
me alone.
Zoe and Connor, but they lost a microphone.
I didn't just.
And
lose
we
the
all use the
microphone.
same mic.
I lost the box and the microphone. Like
And if you guys don't know,
it's like a foot-long box, and I just lost it.
The mic is like 8 or so inches when it's on its stand that it comes with.
Oh, mine's not on the stand though. I have mine on a boom mic with my.
Oh, you think you're better than me? You think you're better than me?
You're better than me? What you saying? What you saying, man?
I don't
Think you're
think.
better than me? Yeah.
I don't think, Kelvin. I know.
Oh,
If you
okay.
want,
Actually-
I was gonna shill, but let me shill anyway. If you want Kelvin to also have a boom stand and an actual place to record, you can subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/thelonelyboyhour.
Please help get closet out of the Kelvin out of the
Please
closet.
help get closet out of the Kelvin.
I can't.
Oh
I need to
no.
stop trying to say the C word because it's not working for me apparently.
For record, we recorded the Gwen episode basically like right after the first episode had dropped.
Yep.
And then we recorded the Mr. Pillow Suit episode the next day.
Yep.
And that was the last time we recorded.
We
Oh
haven't
my
recorded
God.
in like a week, like 2 weeks, a week and a half.
No, it's been more than 2 weeks.
I mean,
It's been about a year.
Yeah, I moved 2 weeks ago, so it would have been like 3 weeks.
It's
You're
been
right.
about 6 weeks, honestly.
It's been a while.
I actually, so when I told Roomba about it, I was like, I mean, they might get to you. I'm not sure though, because they were like, yo, we're going to crank this out. We got the podcast going. It's going to be the official TikTok news podcast. Started off strong and then just died.
Did you say the official TikTok news podcast?
The official
podcast?
TikTok news podcast.
I'm changing the name on all the platforms right now.
No, we're the official.
Got to put the
TikTok
official in there
podcast.
too. The official.
No, we're the official. We are the official TikTok news podcast.
Do you know?
We're not the official TikTok
I'm not saying
podcast.
that
I'm
Lonely
sure there
Boy
might
isn't
be
a
one.
good name, but do you know how many people would be like, "Oh my gosh, it's a thing! Let's go!" And it's like,
You
where's
know,
Connor Dodge?
honestly, I feel like if we all said check out the official TikTok news podcast,
Yes.
all of the people who don't know who it is would go, "Oh my god!" But everyone who did would go, "There's another one," and then they would watch it and go, "Oh, it's the same podcast." That's beauty. I'm here for it. That's great. All right. How's everyone's day gone? Now that we're done roasting random people.
Pretty good.
It's been a pretty calm day. It's pretty hot outside. I don't know where
Gosh,
it
it's
is.
so hot outside.
Oh yeah, it's
How
approximately 1 billion degrees everywhere.
How warm is
Oh,
it
wow.
in your closet, Kelvin?
If I had to guess right now, it's only around 73.
That's not
But
bad.
we'll get up there. We'll get up there.
Do you want to get to the other questions?
Oh, so it is worth mentioning that we do actually have a cheat sheet of questions this time because we're great.
But who was it made by?
It was made by Roomba because our questions are lazy.
Our
Speaking
guest-
of lazy questions, I want to talk about the fact that one question is just Connor Toss ? Question mark. So we're actually going to open up with Connor Toss on that one. So Connor Toss?
Connor Toss. You know what? I appreciate how I think I said it maybe 5 times total in a joking way, never actually mean. But I was like, hey guys, it's not toes, it's not toes, it's Connor Toss, not Toss. And now everyone's calling me Toss, and it's a beautiful thing. And I'm like, heck yes. But then if they pronounce it wrong, it's just like more content. It's like, you pronounced my name wrong.
Right.
Yeah,
No,
you
it's
have a
Connor
content
Tossed.
factory you got going on.
Connor Toes.
Connor tossed some bread yesterday. Connor tossed his channel.
Connor Yeet.
Connor Yeet.
Connor Yeet.
Okay, so as Roomba, what do you have a name other than Roomba, or are we just calling you Roomba?
Oh, we're just calling me Roomba. You know, I'm
That's
here in
fine.
the TikTok
Okay.
nation, just trying to clean up the filth. You
TikTok,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
You're the only person
I
who
love that.
does it. We have Connor, Zoe, and Kelvin, and then it's just Roomba.
I mean, I'm
Everyone's
trash,
favorite
but-
automated vacuum.
You know me.
Anyway,
I need to get all
what
those dust bunnies out of the way.
yeah. So what did you mean by Connor Toss?
I love it how we're actually looking at the script and we're like, what do you mean by Connor Toss? What do you mean about
is-
you making
Well, I
this
need
cheat
to
sheet
know
and
what
helping
mean.
you? What does this mean?
Yeah. No, I need to know what Connor. It stuck out to me. What's Connor Toss? What does that mean? What are you
Well,
asking us?
I mean, I think we already covered it, but it was just talking about like, you know, really why did you roast the channel? Like, why did you call me out? But now I know. Basically, the reason why is he saw it in the recommended or the For You page. So
Literally chance. That's how this happened.
Yeah, pure luck. Okay, guys.
Your
This is
luck,
your-
man.
your channel is pure luck, kid. Oh, thanks.
That's my motto as well.
That's
People
just
seem to
all
think
the
my
solid
channel's
roast
pure
right
luck.
there. Give you the roast crown.
Roomba, I'm sorry, I want to address one thing that I remember you saying in the podcast, and every time I think of you, I go to your account just to look. But I do remember in the first podcast,
Oh yeah.
he
I know what you're talking about.
Mr. Noodler was like, hey man, you are all below me. You all have less followers than me. I don't know what it feels like to be
no.
in 20,000. And now, if we look at my account and his account, I'm a little bit higher.
No, a little. I like the term a little bit.
higher.
The competition.
No, I
is
knew that was
real.
gonna happen. I knew that was gonna happen, and that's why we got you on the podcast so early. We got to get you when you were still at like 16,000. I am good to know
16?
that my like. Yeah, you were at. I think you were at 16,000.
Yeah,
that's
you were
changed.
smaller
Yeah.
than I was.
That's changed a lot.
Yeah, now you're the king over here because you have content that people want to see. That's how I pronounce
unlike
air
me
quotes.
and
Wow.
Kelvin.
Okay.
Noodle, why do I feel like the way you said that, I see like you doing the finger asterisk, like want to see.
That's because that's exactly what I was doing. I was trying to pronounce air quotes.
I love it.
So I just wanted to bring that up. We can follow. I just wanted to really get back on here and be like, so
Here.
I'm not saying the Noodle Doodler is a bad guy. I'm not saying he's a cocky guy. I'm just saying what he said, however
You're
long
gonna have
ago
to,
is now.
you have to
false.
get
That's
the
it.
audio out of the podcast from
Just
episode
edit
2. You
that
have to,
No
edit it
acknowledgement.
in.
I'm actually still above Connor Toss.
I will actually, you know what? I will film myself like smoking a cigar at a desk and be like, at least I'm better than Connor does. Like,
Throws up 2 minutes later.
just a
This is
minute.
my first cigar. I mean, I threw up, you know. At least I smoked
No.
a cigar, you know what I'm saying?
No, cigars are the worst. I used to have to smoke a cigar 5 nights a week for a show because I was an actor, and now I can't breathe ever. But
He
they
was
were
an
paying
actor,
me a
yeah.
lot of money. So
really?
yeah, it was. Yeah, I was a theater actor.
Oh, wow,
that's
cash money.
Yeah, Yeah, they were paying me because I was like, I want to smoke a cigar every night, and then they handed me a paycheck, and I went, okay, I'm gonna smoke a cigar every night.
That's great. Actually, I might give up my lungs for this amount of money. Yeah, I'll give up my lungs. Both of them.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. Here's your money. Okay, I guess.
I mean,
yeah.
I guess.
He got the Connor Taz, the official TikTok News podcast sign out. That's how we end every episode now.
Beautiful. I'll try not to make this whole podcast my voice. I apologize. Roomba was the original person in this. But I thought it was cool, so I was talking to Short X Stuff, who I do believe she will be on the podcast soon.
She is supposed to be on
that
the
one.
podcast.
That comes out in 2022.
We are rescheduling.
In 30 years.
Oh my gosh.
But I was talking to her the other day, and she said she was talking to her mom or something. And then her mom asked her a question, and then she was like, I guess. And then she took a moment. She's like, oh my gosh, Connor.
So where's the guess merch I'm at?
Actually,
did she watch TikTok then?
Short X Stuff is the one who's making my merch.
Oh, really?
Oh shit, I gotta make I guess merch now. Gotta beat him to it.
And I looked it up. According to a YouTube video that had around 16,000 views, once you print something that has a design on it, that's technically legally yours. And if someone tries to steal it, then you can go into copyright, whatever.
Hey guys, so I kind of fucked up. In this episode, I had my gain up way too high, so I was clipping the mic the whole time, and I had a cold, so that sounds awful, I'm sure. But on top of all of that, my audio messed up, and I lost about 3 minutes of audio. You didn't miss too much. It's Zoe wants to buy $100 Connor Taz merch, and that's about it. So I'm sorry that this was missed. And if you'd like to send any legal threats, any audio problems this time are 100% my fault. I'm sorry again, guys, and I hope you're going to enjoy the rest of the episode.
Have you seen the Harambe videos coming out now?
No, what?
Saying that somebody from the future comes back and they're like, what year is it? And that's trend. But now there's all these Harambe ones. They're like, we have to go save the gorilla. I'm like, stop.
Harambe, no.
That's dead.
We don't bring back
done.
Harambe.
It's done.
Harambe. Oh my god.
But that's the thing now, because I've just my whole For You page is just filled with people trying to protect a gorilla that's been dead for a while. I'm like, stop, please.
There's a bunch of them
I'm like,
too.
that's over.
They picked the biggest ones you could possibly make fun of. There was one where, and the best part is, so you'll have one person make one about World War II, one of the worst wars we could possibly have, and then another person does one on the World Trade Center, and then that's the bad one. It's I think they're both very bad. I don't know why one is better than the other.
Bad.
I think a lot of people died, and we just need to show respect. Just walk away from the situation and be like, this was a very awkward conversation. I want to go home.
Oh boy.
Boy.
So speaking of lots of people dying, that's not a good segue for anything. but
Speaking of dead people.
Speaking of death and destruction, is anyone else in the Hurricane Barry area?
I am not.
No, not me.
I'm not.
I'm on the edge of the
glory?
hurricane, apparently, of where it's supposed to be in 4 hours. I'm on the edge of that.
Oh.
And I'm so ready for old Barry. I feel like hurricanes
Old
have
Barry.
the least intimidating. There was Hurricane Irene, and now there's Barry.
Is it just,
So
Play Resident Evil soundtrack.
why when you say Hurricane Barry, I just think Bernie Sanders. My brain went to Bernie Sanders for some reason. And I'm like,
Bernie
it's just
Sanders has
turning.
become an airbender, and he's pissed.
He's so angry.
Bernie Sanders is the Avatar, and he is pissed.
So what I'm hearing then is once this podcast ends, we stop recording, the podcast needs to come out because Noodle Doodler will be dead.
Yep, and I'm gonna die at Area 51.
The unfortunate fate is that means someone else is going to have to edit this podcast if I die.
So,
I can take a shot at it. I probably won't do very good, but I can try.
is this official? Connor Toss is new co-host?
Actually,
We'll have
I'll
to
just
get Bradley
restructure it. I'll
after,
tear it all down, kick everyone out, and start a new one.
Speaking of which, good luck editing this episode if you ever dreamed of editing it, because for like 2 minutes my audio just wasn't working. It wasn't like I hit pause or anything, it just stopped for no reason.
Yeah.
Luckily I was not talking during those 2 minutes. That's why I went quiet for a while, so we didn't miss anything, but it was just terrifying to happen.
So at some point, maybe during, I don't know, whatever mark that is, you're just going to have a bunch of people stop for nobody talking. We're all just going to simultaneously stop talking for silence.
Oh,
just have awkward silence.
Oh yeah, it'll be great.
We can just add that in right next to the ASMR section.
I could. No, to be fair, I am the editor, so if all else fails, I could literally just cheat, record myself back into the podcast.
just re-record yourself.
Oh my God.
I'd have to like sit there and deduce what the fuck I said because I don't think about things ahead of time. I don't know what's
Calvin.
Calvin.
Obviously you could do it, but could you imagine? So everything can be taken out of context. You just ask certain questions, but have a different answer in your head, and they'd be like, "So Connor, Roomba, what do you think about this whole bad thing happened on? Like, do you think that's a good thing? No, absolutely not." And then re-record yourself asking the question.
How do you feel about World War II? Oh, of course not.
They're awful. They all need to go.
That's gonna be the advertisement for this podcast. I'm gonna make a video, and it's just gonna be me going, "So Connor, you agree that World War II was a horrible thing, right?" And you're gonna go, "Oh no, of course not."
Connor Toss is actually a demon person, and he needs to go.
And no one's gonna understand unless they listen to the episode.
You just say a bunch of people like listening like 15 minutes in, they'd be like, "I can't believe this," stops the podcast and just types in the chat, "You're a horrible person. You like World War II. You like death and destruction."
Oh no, I'm not gonna put it in the podcast. I'm just gonna make it the advertisement for the podcast.
Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, so people stay till the end waiting for it, or at least until this mark where we've talked about this great evil plan.
I'm just waiting for the moment because we now have somebody like putting our audio from the podcast onto TikTok, which is awesome.
Oh yeah, shout out to Whoop Merp for being like the sweetest fan we have.
Oh my goodness, I love it. But I'm waiting for someone to start taking audio splices out of context and putting them on TikTok.
Oh yeah,
to make it sound like we're just assholes on TikTok.
Yeah, because so far he just posted. He did like the pizza cutter joke, which was great, and then he did the
Trash Z. You make it sound like that'd be a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. That's why I'm saying I'm waiting for it.
Connor is doing it right now.
Do you know how much content I just put out? We talked about comparing death and destruction and how bad one is over the other. Like that's
gonna be my TikTok drama. That's gonna propel me to fame, and I'm taking you with me, Connor.
Because you're gonna take me down. So you're gonna a little rope connected to everyone. You're gonna just yank me down and push yourself up.
So here's the drama. We're just gonna go back and forth, posting videos out of context of each other.
Please do.
Well,
I'm not lying. I am 100% gonna do the World War II one.
I'm good at this.
Oh,
you got to do it now. That way, it's not misconstrued. Because people are, "Oh yeah, I have seen that." But if we wait like 2 weeks, they'll be like, "Wait, why would he ever even mention that?"
I just know I'm gonna have a new like range of followers. I'm just gonna see a bunch of like interesting symbols, interesting swastika symbols on my chat. I love this guy. He likes World War II. I'll be like, "Oh God, what have you done to me?"
We're gonna ruin both of you. Actually, while we're here, Roomba, can I get you saying no? Of course not. Actually, can I just get you saying the entire phonetic alphabet and I'll Siri your voice in?
I'm good.
Well, there's like 5 syllables right there, so we're good. Just in the
Actually, so just to test room. So do you all know Adam Shea?
I'm aware. Yes.
So you know that he's Asian.
Yeah.
And he does speak that Chinese.
Yeah.
So I want to hear Liam. Wait, no, that's not his name. Adam. Sorry, Shay is not. I want to hear Roomba. I don't know why I was. I've been talking to my brother. I'm like, everyone's just, "Hey, Noodle Doodler." I mean Liam. I mean Trashy. I mean Liam. You're all.
Are we that much in your life? Are we that involved in your everyday existence, Connor?
Yes, you're all just like related to my brother. So
Shucks.
I'm ready.
We're
for
brothers
Adam
now.
Shea, I would like to hear Roomba speak some Chinese. We won't know what he says, but Adam, he'll know.
So how well do you
Roomba,
speak Chinese right now, Roomba?
Oh, okay. I can speak some Chinese. Do I have like full range to say anything in Chinese or
Go for it. It's gonna
anything. We're a rated R podcast, so go ahead.
可以，所以我觉得我有很大的阴茎，我放我的阴茎在你的阴道。
be okay. And please don't tell us what that means. And everyone who just
Wait.
listened, please send that audio clip to Adam Shea.
Oh God.
Did I just hear hentai though?
对吧？
Because that's what it sounded like.
对我，所以我做很多的东西，所以我觉得我可以做很多的中文的东西。
Every time I hear someone doing, I always want to hear the deep voice like, 好是，干这个的。
我知道很多的中文吗？
And I just don't vaguely speak Chinese. I can't even recognize Chinese if I hear it
I
out
don't
loud.
speak Chinese at all. I can speak some I can't. I can hear and understand Japanese, but not Chinese.
So
No
if anyone
idea.
was looking for a reason to get Adam Shea in here, we got some Chinese, we got some
So,
language in
Adam
here.
Shea, if you'd like to come on and you want to like throw shade at Roomba on our podcast, you can email us at thelowlyboyhour@gmail.com.
你要放你的阴茎在我的阴道。
We broke Roomba. He's not going to speak English for the rest of the episode. Please speak English for the rest of
We've
the
just got
episode.
commentary in Chinese
我
the
我不
whole
知道
time.
英文，所以我不可以说英文，所以我不知道英文。对
So speaking of not being able to be understood,
对不起。
do you guys
Me.
plan? This is for my cheat sheet once again. I feel like we sound so professional if we don't talk about the fact that we have a cheat sheet, but since we have, it's
can't
ruined.
pretend that we're professionals.
Yeah.
Come on.
So
It's
do
the
we
beauty of
all?
the podcast.
Who here like wants to further their TikTok as like a career? Is
Oh, I'm
there
already
any
doing
of
that.
us?
You know, I have no idea. You know, if the wind tells me to keep going with TikTok, I'll keep going. But if the wind decides to pull me, just yeet me out the window and say stop, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm good. No more TikTok for me.
It's gonna Connor yeet you out the window. I think we said that off mic actually, so that's not gonna make any sense. Oh no.
Yeet.
Well,
Connor,
I
yeah.
appreciate that you thought. I mean, we're all sitting around the sub 100,000
lore.
range, and Roomba is sitting still below.
Yeah,
Going
I have
live.
nothing. I literally I look up to all of you like, oh, he's a really big TikToker. Oh, he's a big TikToker.
I'll
and then
say
you
the
guys
same
are
thing
discussing,
I said.
oh, I'm bigger TikToker. I'm like, I'm not arguing. I'm the lowest here, lowest one here.
I'm gonna say the same thing I said to everyone on this podcast and everyone who's been on this podcast. You're welcome for your career.
I'm actually curious, right? Because a lot of the big TikTokers we have, like, right, you don't have to worry about like what's going to happen with their followers because we're never going to know if they come from the podcast. But I'm curious to see what happens right after we release this podcast.
I think
and
this one's
seeing
gonna get
if you
big.
gain a lot of followers.
Oh God.
Like, I'm curious what's going to happen with your demographic and if you're going to get like just a
if I get
influx or if
10
it's going to be nothing.
You know, if I'll make a statement on this podcast just for kicks and giggles. If I get like, I don't know, like 1,000 or like 500 subscribers, I'll make my first live.
Well, you have to be 1,000, so that's
Okay, well then I have to be
that's
1,000.
step one. I realize that you don't know much about.
Noodle Doodlers.
If I get up to 1 subscriber, I will make my first live.
Oh Jesus! Was someone gonna say some shit?
Good.
Good. There we go. Yeah.
How long have you been on the app, Roomba?
How long?
Like
have
a week.
Like, I don't know, pretty
3
much
days.
like 4 days, maybe 1.
To everybody listening to this podcast, this section specifically, don't let your dreams be dreams. Roomba got on the app, and he's already on the app that's officially for TikTok.
He's on the official TikTok news podcast. If you insult the host hard enough, you too.
I my fragile ego cannot take insults.
Please, yeah, just
No, if you want to get on the
more hate.
podcast and you're not like, you don't have a name to yourself, you don't have like a good channel, you have to think of something more creative because this has been done now. Having said that, roast the podcast all you want, just don't tag Zoe in it. I'll take it. I'll take the L.
That was the big thing. Like I was talking to Roomba before this, how like this episode is really going to prove that you don't have to have a big following to be on the podcast. We're all about content. We're not about like how big your following is. It's all about what you put out and like what you do.
Oh, well, I don't want to. I guess that's true. I guess that's more important. Because like when it comes to this podcast, I don't know what you get. I get followers every now and again. I'll just get like 5 comments from random people that was like, "Hey, can I be on the podcast?"
Nice.
I
That means
get
it's
that
legit.
too. I get that too, but I usually just tell them like, hey, we reach out to people.
Yeah.
Like,
Wow.
Having
you're
said
shutting
that-
some people
Exclusive
down.
here.
Having said that, if you're a big
Go
name
home.
on TikTok and you want to be on the podcast, here. Let's make a rule. If you have what do we want to call it? Like 50,000 followers, and you want to
Better
be
get
on
off
the
podcast
podcast.
then.
No. You don't have to be, but that's what you need to message us, and we'll actually like consider it.
Yeah, because I said this. I think I said this our very first episode we ever made. But my thing is like, if you have a lot of followers, you probably have really good content, or you have something going for you.
Yeah, there's gotta
If
be
you're a
some
smaller
reason.
Right, if there's a smaller creator and we don't know anything about you, that tends to be that you're either new or you haven't found your shtick yet and you're not growing fast enough. And it's easier to go, hey, somebody has 100,000 followers. I'm probably going to check their page because like they have the following, so they have made people like pay attention to them. They have something to offer for sure. I'm not wasting my time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's
So-
So
there's 2 ways, or there's a couple ways. I won't put a number on it. So there's a couple ways now I've discovered that you can get on the podcast. The first way is apparently you just roast the host as hard as you can.
hard as
Make
possible.
sure they're, or a second way can be the TikTok news guy deems you roastable enough to where he's like, yo, who the heck is this guy? Then that might get you a look at by the 2 hosts.
Yeah,
Or the
honestly,
host will reach out to
having said that, I think like 3 or 4 of our guests you have done TikTok news on, so
Yeah.
it's a possibility. Because every time you're like, and I believe that person's scheduled to be on the podcast. Because we have like
Who else
fucking
is scheduled?
18
I'll roast
guests
them too.
waiting. Like, yeah, we'll send you a roast list.
you. Like, this person sucks, and here's why. By the way, they're going to be on the Lonely Boy Hour podcast.
Like, let's see, you haven't roasted our next guest. Our next let's see, we actually have several guests, so I don't know which one's the next one. We have Jay the Fae, Jess Fisher 5. I think we have God of Night Vale.
Oh!
Yeah,
I knew you were gonna say something when we said that was a potential.
yeah.
Please! The Riddler, and then I'll stop talking. I'm sorry. I know I've been talking too much. This is
No, don't
about
worry.
Roomba and you guys.
You are the episode now. Forget Roomba.
Better go home now. Pack my bags. I'm done.
No, we mentioned this. This episode hasn't come out yet because it's a technical nightmare. But in an episode that didn't get released, we do talk about the fact that Connor is just allowed to come in and replace our guest.
So we were about to talk to this other person, but we have Connor Does!
Wow. No. What were you gonna say when we said God of Night Vale?
So the Riddler, he's the guy that started the Veil.
The Vale. Him,
hashtag.
God of Night Vale, and like one other person. Holy Taco is his name.
Yeah. So the Riddler came in. I don't know why. It was like a really late live, actually last night. And I was like, oh, why are you blowing me off? You always got to have a catchy, a clickbaity live title.
Yeah.
So he came in. He's like, I would never ignore you, man. And I was like, oh, hey, Riddler. So I guess it's late, and I really don't have a filter right now. What the heck was up with all the God of Night Vale being all upset? Like, I called her cocky, and I got like 7 videos dedicated to this guy's slandering God of Night Vale. He's a devil person. Like, who does he think he is? And the Riddler was like, yeah, that's the cosplayers can be a little bit touchy sometimes, but I loved it. I was like, yes.
Oh, it's gonna be interesting because God of Night Vale is like supposed to come on, and if she listens to this episode now,
And
oh
she's
no,
okay with the fact that, quote unquote, this is my podcast.
yeah. So I just need to like double check you guys aren't gonna kill each other as soon as I add her to the server, right?
Right.
No, you
I
can add
value-
that as clickbait.
I'll value.
Oh my god.
Connor Toss kills Nightgale.
And this could be the closest thing to if you guys watch what's his name, Keemstar with the Drama Alert, how he does those like voice interventions.
Ooh, can we do a Drama Alert episode with you and God and Night? She's not going to agree to that. Oh my gosh,
please. You could be the mediator, you and
that.
Trashy.
That'd be pretty funny.
I'm going to tell her to join right now. I need you to change your username, Connor, so she doesn't know.
Change my username and be like, yeah, we got this guy in here, special guest. He's Connor Todd!
Because that's literally my job, is to moderate angry college student roommates. So I can do it. It's the same thing. It's just adults that don't live at college anymore.
All right. Got a Night Vale. We have a confession. Connor Taz is in the back room right now. Come on in, Connor!
And then she leaves.
She leaves.
Click. You hear an audible click.
She leaves. Delete that shit. Delete it right now.
Delete the episode. I feel bad that we're...
I'm canceling this whole podcast.
I love God of Night Vale, though. That's the thing. Like, I love everything that God
There's
of
a
Night
reason
Vale
I
does.
want her on the podcast.
Right. It's a shame to me because this happens a lot on TikTok that like two people that I like sometimes have a beef with each other, and I'm like,
like Connor Taz
I don't have to choose.
God of Night Vale.
Right. I'm like, I'm not choosing. I'm fucking Switzerland, and I'm sitting right here.
Switzerland.
Yes. I thought you were going to say like you're actually having sexual intercourse with Switzerland.
What? What, Connor?
You do that. You don't let your dreams be dreams.
I believe that you probably like die, but I think you can do it. Every citizen in Switzerland, I think you got this. Oh my God. I full-hearted believe in you.
Oh, jeez.
I can't.
Rip your internal organs, though.
But please do.
Jeez. There's so much retching in this episode.
Oh, God.
This is going to be a nightmare to edit.
Just leave it all in. Who even cares?
I'm going to cry myself to sleep.
It can't be as bad as those two episodes that we had issues with the audio, though. Nothing can top that.
Zoe, at the time of recording this, we have 4 episodes, and only 3 of them have guests, and it's not Connor, so you don't need to be like those 2 episodes.
Well, I didn't want to I don't know, I didn't know, because you earlier you were like, this episode we're releasing, we were talking about Connor, you didn't say who it was with, so I didn't know if we were just not saying their names.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I was trying to do, take a subtle hint that Gus didn't exist.
Jeez.
I tried.
Jeez.
From now on, you now know, don't have 2 roasters on the podcast, because then you guys are going to start laughing, just start dying, be like, I can't focus.
Okay.
I can't focus on
Okay, speaking of having 2 roasting channels on the podcast, what are you guys' least favorite episodes? Least favorite, fuck, you distracted me. Least favorite TikTokers, go. I asked Connor this in the first episode, but...
So I'm gonna stick with Connor the Crusader, just because I don't like how he constantly uses the word slander, and I don't think he understands the definition of slander. This is where he comes in with the horrible grammar and just really just.
Oh yeah, I hate people who don't know words and they're talking about they hate this person. They're like, oh yeah, they slandered them. They were gaslighting people. They were manipulating. They were abusing emotionally.
Gaslighting.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Gaslighting is the one that annoys me because I've heard it so many times, and I just think that they don't know the word.
I always hear it used wrong. Yeah. I'm stop. Get a dictionary.
Are you by any chance referring to the TikTok news series dedicated to 3 younger cosplayers?
That's a big example. I think that would be the most known example for people who listen to this podcast. But I've seen it about 1 billion times all over the internet. They gaslight people, and I'm like, that's not what gaslighting is.
Yeah, gaslighting is a very serious thing, and people just kind of take it more light part. That's that's not only kind of insensitive, but that's just really kind of rude to people that have been gaslighted. I don't know.
Yeah, and you guys are both roasters, but you guys, I feel like there's a difference between roasting and drama, and the difference is that one of them's funny and lighthearted.
One of them is not meant to be just mean; it's meant to be comedy. The other one is meant to just.
When I see a Connor Taz video, a Connor Yeet video, I think to myself, this is gonna be great, and everyone's gonna think it's great, including the person, unless you're. Well, you know who, but
Well, you know.
Unless you're, I don't know, like possibly a cosplayer, and then that's it.
Or well, there's other people that have had issues with your episodes though.
Yeah, you told us about like one or two where they were like, yeah, he's a jerk.
Which I get. If you don't understand that it's all in good fun, then you could take it the wrong way. But I think that after you realize that it's not, it's everybody. Everybody is getting roasted. It's not just one person. That you shouldn't take it so seriously.
I thought that was cool. Where what was her name? I can't remember her name, but she was one of the people that defended God and I Veil. And she was like, I don't know how many people he's done this to. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, how does he?
You could watch his entire channel.
Yes, and I wasn't able to fit it in there, but I actually pulled out my phone. I was like, actually, if you want to know how many people I've done this to, around 305 people.
Jesus.
Some including more than one person.
Jeez. That's beauty. Like, I don't know.
Watch
Like,
out.
I'm included, and I'm not offended.
The Roomba's even included.
Like, one of us has been roasted. Like I said, you got Zoe. I'm excited to see the roast of Zoe because Zoe's got a lot of roastable stuff, and I guess I'll be thrown in there a little bit. I'm glad you throw me a bone every now and again, Connor. First you gave me this podcast, and now this.
We have to humor you, Kelvin. We have to keep you happy by humoring you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to remember, like, because I'm trying to remember what the first like TikTok news that made like me engage with what you were doing. I want to say it was the Mr. Pillowsuit one, but it wasn't, because that was after the podcast, right? The one
I don't think it was. It might have been that one.
Yeah, I remember that because I'm friends with Mr. Pillowsuit. That's why he was on the episode last time, because I asked him nicely.
I only found it because somebody commented in my live stream, have you seen this Connor Taz dude? And I was like,
no, that's not true.
I was like, hello.
I saw Connor's first video and I was like, this guy is going places. You signed with me. I was smoking a cigar at the time. I was like, you signed with me, kid. We're gonna be big. I can see your name in the lights. You and me. Like,
Oh my gosh.
that was what I saw. I am obviously the most popular person on this podcast, and I 1000% think I'm better than Connor Taz.
Mm-hmm.
And rightly so. You give some quality content,
and there's your audio for the TikTok news where you talk about being better than me.
He thinks he's better than me. Now, just here's the best thing: you can roast me back, and that gives me content too. So you could be like, "Who does this Connor Taz think he is? He owns this podcast. He can roast me. Go hate on him."
Yeah.
You still need to find a news or a weather anchor for your TikTok news, though. Connor, I'm telling you, you're not a real.
I will 1000% do some TikTok weather for you.
You're not a real news outlet if you don't have weather. You have to do weather.
I have had a couple people.
The duet chains seem to be really strong today.
I'll
with a slight chance of reaction videos.
Yes.
I'll do field reporting and weather. Don't even try me. I will devote my life. If you want Kelvin to devote his life to finding TikTokers and being a field reporter for TikTok news, send us an email and subscribe to our Patreon, because one of our goals is me quitting my job.
Get coming out of the closet.
Yeah, well, that's the first one, and then the next one will be getting Zoe some, I guess, merch.
I want a hoodie.
I don't know why. I don't know why that would cost more than soundproofing my house.
I just imagine all of Connor's merch is going to be super expensive.
It's going to be $300?
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I'm in line with Gucci, guys.
Gucci, you got some Yeezys TikTok news.
Let's be honest. People would buy it.
All the G's are like these special gold lettering. It's actually made from, like.
Honestly, Connor, if you did make your merch $300, I think I would be more likely to buy it, just as because that's content right there. I bought Connor's $300 hoodie, and here's what I think.
Yes.
That's content.
Literally no one would buy it, but the one person that did, it's like, yeah, I couldn't help but notice, what's his name? A couple people make their merch, and they can have it for like $30 or $50. I'm actually the best, so I'm selling my sweatshirt with the generic price for $300.
Well, like that's content and a half when people because I see all these videos and they're like, oh, I bought Logan Paul's YouTubing lessons.
Yes.
I bought Belle Delphine's Gamer Girl bathwater or things like that. That's popping right now. This is so nice because this is the first episode we've done where it's gonna come out soon, so we can talk about modern things. Y'all want to talk about Belle Delphine's fucking bathwater?
That is a great strategy. I love it. It's just like, oh, you know what? I'm going to cash money on people that are probably not going to get this opportunity to just get some bath water. I'm like, if you're able to sell bath water, you can sell anything.
So
Listen,
if you want to
my
buy
feet pics and it didn't work, and I'm upset that nobody bought my feet pics.
So a limited offer, guys. If you buy a Lonely Boy a hydrator titrate water bottle, it'll come with Zoe or my bath water or Connor.
I will have a bath bomb and everything. I will fill it with sparkly ass bath water.
Okay, no, because that would cost so much more money. Because then we'd have to ship it to ourselves, take a bath, and fill. We're spending like $5 on these things.
They have to buy the water bottle and be a Patreon subscriber. If you are at the higher tiers, I will do that for you.
Listen, if you are a lonely, what's our top patron tier called again? 1 second. Let me.
Isn't it like the $100 one?
Yeah, our $100 patrons, also known as the loneliest boy in the known universe.
Yes.
Will get you basically nothing as of right now. It's not worth it. I'm going to tell you that right now.
It's not worth it unless you want my bath water.
That's the whole joke. Right now, it's you will receive a special role on our Discord. That's all. That's all it is. It's just like a golden roll.
Just add that you'll get a bottle of a hydrate or dihydrate bottle of water from Tragedy with bath bomb water in it.
Okay, I'll do that. Like our patron, like I think most of I've accidentally like made it where most of our tiers aren't worth anything, like except for one, which is a weird strategy. Yeah. Like for the most part, the one you want is like the $25 one because it gives you like all the good shit. So that's why of our 3 patrons, 2 of them are $25 patrons. I'm a genius.
Actually, if you want to go off the lonely boy, lonely boys usually don't have a lot of friends. So how you get that is you do the reverse of what people would normally do. The more money you spend, the more you get. Let's just reverse that. We're going to be doing a $1 Patreon. You have access to everything, and we'll ship Zoe to your house. And we'll
ship Zoe.
Me?
We'll find a woman named Zoe.
Send me through the express mail.
Does that count as like a mail order bride? Like I have a question.
Yes.
I think the saddest part is most people would instead pay $100.
Yeah.
That'd be the worst part.
They would want it, so they pay more. They'd be like, I don't want this. I don't want this.
The goal is to get as far away from getting someone shipped to your house as possible.
Yes. Because if I show up to someone's house, I'm going to eat all their food. I'm going to be really loud at night. And I'm just going to be obnoxious wanting to go home the whole time. So no one's going to want me there.
Listen, I've never been next to Zoe in person because if we haven't talked about it, we obviously don't record in person. But I imagine it's a nightmare from the time that I've hung out with you.
It's so bad. No one wants to be in my presence for longer than 10 minutes.
I don't know. There was people listening to us playing video games once.
Yeah, but they're not in my presence. They just focus on my voice.
So yeah, that was a thing. We were playing video games together, but we had done it through Zoe's server, and people in the channel we chose are able to listen but not talk. And the problem with that was we weren't on Twitch or anything, so they were just listening to us play a farming game together.
Yep. And they didn't see the screen at all. They just heard us talking back and forth.
Yeah.
They didn't hear the music from the game. They heard nothing but us talking.
As we played a farming game together.
And I think we had at one point we had 4 people and they were just listening to us.
For an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how we know that we're destined for podcasting. If we can do the bare minimum and just turn a microphone on while we play video games without doing any recording at all, then we can podcast.
Listen, my followers are dedicated.
We are the rightful hosts of the official TikTok news podcast.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
There was a bunch of people that actually were like, so when are you going to make your own podcast? I'm like, what do you guys talk about? It's the Lonely Boy Hour. They're like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm just not there all the time,
Yeah.
Just
You're
because
the
I
reason
own
that people
Walmart
keep
doesn't mean
asking
I'm
me
gonna
if
be
it's
at
your
every single
podcast.
Walmart.
Yeah, well, yeah. Connor is also, I think, has the most popular video, like viewed one. If we go by like all the statistics, because I think I'm because we are on like 5 platforms now. So like I feel like if you just go off YouTube, I think it's just like the views are related to how long the video has been out because people keep listening. But if you go to everything,
what I'll say is, did we ever talk about the thing with the Discord where a bunch of popular creators were in there and like, yo, Connor, you want to be a part of this?
oh yeah, I joined that. I have not looked at it since.
So, did I already tell you about it? Because that's a fun
You
little
told
3-minute
no.
short story.
I saw
You haven't
I saw
talked
the
about the
news, but
podcast.
you haven't talked about the podcast. So go for it.
So, basically what happened was we have all these big people on there around, like there's people up in the millions, and they're like, hey, you want to get on this Discord? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, sounds good. So I get in there and they're like, hey, Connor, we got all these like popular people on here. Everyone like do their part and try to promote this so we can have people come on here so we can build like a community, and then on the side we can like make separate chats. People can go into those and you can post a video when you post a video on TikTok, and then people can get notified that you made it in case TikTok doesn't promote it for you. I was like, oh, that sounds cool. So no one else, like 2 people did it. They got a little bit. I think they got up to like 100 people. And then Connor, I was like, are you sure? I asked them twice. I was like, are you sure you want me to do this? And they're like, yeah, go for it. And then right before I did, I was like, I'm about to post this. Are you sure? My fans are a little bit rowdy. And they're like, yeah, go for it. So I post it, and I go out. I come back after an hour. They restructured the entire Discord.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Blocked people from making comments.
Yeah, I know.
And
I
they
can't
had
make comments. I'm not even a
they had
creator.
300 people in the Discord in 1 hour.
Yeah, no, there's currently 327.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We're on Discord, so it's not like I went deep into research. I literally just clicked out of our server into another one and counted.
And Kelvin, you are a creator on that.
I am a
and so-
creator. I don't think I have my own room, but I'm not but I'm a creator.
Yeah, and then Liv also does, and I ain't got shit.
Oh.
And I was like, how does Outlive have one and I don't? Like, not to throw shades, but I'm like, I'm bigger than Outlive.
I want to know
I get the
when,
thing?
like, I want to know the number I have to hit to get my own room. That's the important thing. So
In the
in
which
the
one?
in the Discord server that we were just talking about, because everyone's got their own like. Shit, I want to know what number I have to hit to get there, because I almost have as much as you, Connor. Like,
I think they were telling me they not kick, but they don't let people in. Like that count. I think it's over 50.
oh, I'm so close. Okay, so I was about to shill my own channel as if everyone listening doesn't already follow me.
You can try. I mean, the guy that started it's a pretty chill guy. It's do you know Dominic, like the Dominic and Josie couple?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's the one that started it and that's running it.
Okay.
So he's a pretty. If you ever get to talk to him, chill guy.
I will try. Gotta rub them elbows.
Yeah, rub them elbows.
Gotta start rubbing elbows with larger creators.
Roomba's actually on it. Ask him how he got there.
Roomba, what's your secret? Like,
my secret was really Connor Toss. So basically, what ended up happening, because he's basically my my gateway into into TikTok fame.
dying. You killed me with that.
Basically, I was just like kind of like it was a pretty boring day, and then all of a sudden, like I just see like in the Discord, because like we shared Discord, or sorry, not Discord, TikTok. Like he hit me up in the DMs and he was like, "Hey, do you like you? I know you have been roasting my podcast, but you should be really, if you're roasting people about podcasts and what they should and shouldn't do, you probably should give some feedback. Actually deliver on the thing that you could make something better. You state all the time you can make things better. So it ended up happening is I got in touch with the I can't even remember his name. I'm so bad. Dominic. I got in touch with Dominic, and we were talking a bunch, and he was saying like basically I had a couple ideas. First of all, he was saying how there was like he wanted to have like an interface with the creators, so the big creators and their fans. But then he ended up like getting feedback. Like he ended up, what happening is that there were too many fans to for the TikTokers to respond to. So too many people were flooding the gates, right? So you have too many people like texting him, being like, "Oh hey, I love your content," or something along those lines towards these like pretty famous TikTokers, and he didn't have they didn't have much time to respond to every single one of them. So then he ended up changing the entire platform so the fans and people with like less followers on TikTok were going to be in one part of the Discord, and then the bigger followers are going to be on the other one. So then I came up with the idea of like, maybe you should have like an in-between, maybe you should have like some people come in to talk with like some of the people, and it's kind of like a podcast in the sense that they come in, they get to talk with the person for a little bit, and then they leave. They all have to have like a time limit, and then you could have a schedule on which days people could come in and talk with these fans and stuff. Because the initial goal of this Discord was to just make sure that even though you have a bunch of followers, you stay connected with the fans, so you don't like lose touch,
Okay, because it seemed like a trick to normalize TikTokers, which I don't know if you know this. There's a podcast that does that.
Yes.
It's called The Lonely Boy Hour.
Okay.
We're on it right now. Wait, did Roomba actually think I was talking about something? Like I said, we are the only podcast, okay? There are no others.
I mean, that's why you have no competition. No one can, you can be like, I am the only podcast that is able to deliver great TikTok content.
That is such a low bar to clear.
Until one kid just starts to roast you, and then everything starts to tumble.
Like, for what people's expectations of TikTok are, a podcast that shows off, like, good TikTok content is such a low bar.
It's such a low bar.
Like, for reference, we brought on Roomba 2017. The bar could not be lower.
Ouch.
Sorry, I had to... Sorry,
you just shot me with the arrow in there, just like, I'm just going to continue to dig it into the entire podcast.
That's for the video. This was my plan the entire time, was this one sentence.
Even though you know my actual reasons behind it, you're like, nah, man. I'm still trying to throw that arrow at you. I'm going to throw
that was like a thing, because I was telling my friends, who admittedly don't listen to the podcast, about the fact that we were trying to get you on. I don't expect my friends to listen to this.
All my friends listen to the podcast.
We'll keep telling them. In fact, if you're listening to the podcast right now, we don't want you. You can talk about this on Twitter or whatever you want to do to advertise it, but also go out in the streets and go, "Do you like podcasts?"
Get a megaphone and do loud shouting about the podcast.
I have this video in the works, and it's actually based off of the whole drama with God of Night Vale.
Oh my gosh! Please,
you're gonna love it.
Please make that happen.
So you know how you were saying in that in the roast you had not the roast, but in the like post discussing the drama, you talked about how you made a joke. You were like, "Yeah, I am very lonely. I don't know love. I'm now accepting applications for a girlfriend." So I was gonna ask you to help me with this, so I have more options. But I just wanted to make a bunch of like pictures of you, right? And I live in a big city. I live in Nashville. I'm just gonna go downtown and I'm gonna make a stand that just says, "Will you date this man?" I'm just gonna have pictures of you.
Please do that.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna get a megaphone. I have a squad ready. It's gonna be the highest production value I have. People are gonna hand out flyers. They're like, content creator, news host. Owner of the...
man. Ew, no, of course not. Ew.
We're not going to put that he does TikTok. We're going to say he's a content creator.
And then send him all the
and then the last part of the video is going to be like, also he does TikTok. And then it's going to be a smash cut of every woman turning around and leaving.
Oh my god, I love that.
That's a video I'm working on right now. It's going to be a while before it comes to fruition, but I'm working on it.
You said you wanted us to go outside, and after this podcast, it's so bright outside. I can go out with my brother and do a recording asking people if they've heard the Lonely Hour podcast. I don't know how well it will turn out, but they will.
That'd be great. Have you heard of the Lonely Boy Hour podcast?
Like, what the heck is that?
So people have told me that they've literally started asking people in my like tonage, going, "Do you like podcasts?"
Well, yeah,
because that's how I always.
That's
shill.
our friend
Do you like
Liv's
podcasts?
display name on TikTok right
Liv
now. It's
changed
just
her display name to that, but every time I shill the podcast, I'm always like, "Hey, do you like podcasts?" And then I go, "Are you wearing pants?" Because of the fucking pant holiday that we had.
oh yeah,
And
National
it
No
makes
Pants Day.
Yeah, it makes no
Oh,
sense.
and
to
National
anyone.
Wear Pants or Don't Day.
Yes,
The
that's
official.
my shill.
That's
Well,
great. Are you wearing?
Are you wearing pants? Are we all wearing pants?
I'm not.
I am. I'm always
I'm
wearing
not.
pants.
So the story with the podcast is always that I record in my underwear.
Yes, because it's too hot in your closet. How hot
Yeah.
is your closet right now?
It's probably getting to the low 80s now. I'm dying.
Oh, it's warm in my room right now.
So everyone should get out of the closet because it's hot in there, and that's the logo.
And
That's
if
the slogan.
if you want to help me get out of the closet because it's hot, that's the shill now. If you
How
wanted me
many
to get out
times
of
have
my
we shilled
overheated
the
closet,
Patreon?
it's okay. We need to shill the Gmail more because we got some
Yeah.
emails, but I want more. I'm waiting for
Did
the
we-
dancing videos to come in.
I haven't checked. I know. I want the dancing videos.
If you buy a hydrate or dihydrate water bottle, go ahead and send us a picture of you with it, and we will.
Drinking out of it.
And I will showcase some of them in a future podcast episode.
And
Is there actually water?
Remember,
I feel like at this point, I kind of want to buy. Is it there? Does it exist?
Oh no, yeah. Well, as of right now, they almost exist.
I mean, right now it doesn't, but you know.
I have all of the art done for the for like the merch, and I'll show them to you later, Zoe. But I have all the art done. I just haven't like set up the merch store yet. So by the time this episode
it.
comes out, hopefully I'll have gotten my shit together.
Does the merch store exist? Well, not now, but you know, hopefully
yet,
later.
but it
At the
will.
point this episode comes out, it better.
Let me.
Don't worry, you can cut all this out because like when you come out with the store, then you can just be like, oh, we don't need to talk about this. We could just cut all this audio out, you know.
Who needs it?
Who needs it?
Yeah.
Do I get free merch?
No.
I have to buy the merch.
You have to buy our merch.
Are you serious?
Yeah. If we were running our own store, like we weren't using a third party like to do it.
What a
They
what a
don't
place
send you
to
like
find
prototypes
No.
as like a thing. God
No.
damn it.
If we were running our own store, which we don't have the time, fan base, or money to do,
That's true.
though we're missing all of the elements to do that. If that wasn't the case, if we were running our own merch store, we could do that, obviously, but we're
So-
not.
So basically, what you're saying is people need to send us emails to lonelyboyhour@gmail.com because not gmail.com. Don't spam Google.
We're doing
Or do please.
so easy to
Google
change your mind.
sponsor us. But you should send us pictures once you get the water bottles to brag that you have them and I don't because I won't be able to buy them.
Yeah,
until,
because
I get my first.
Zoe
paycheck in
will
September.
also. That's actually another Patreon tier is for Zoe to buy our. That's another Patreon goal is Zoe buying our
Patreon.
merch.
buy your own merch. Oh, that's so
It's like
painful.
I couldn't
Hey,
help but
Matt.
notice that the gamer bathwater is around $25. Yeah, if you want this hydrate or dihydrate, it's $300 up there. With you'll get a free water bottle with Connor Toss's Gucci. I mean, I
Yes.
guess sweatshirt.
He'll come with a sweatshirt, the water bottle, and a mix of the Lonely Boy
With a
host.
CD, and we'll send you Trash Z.
And we'll send you Trezzy. It'll cost more than $300 to send her. We're operating on a loss.
Sorry, no returns until you pay the fee.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah, that's actually the trick. Is that it costs to send her back, and they're gonna want to send her back. No free
So
returns.
it's like a reverse hostage situation.
I just hear like Trash Z in the back, like laughing, low key crying.
Dying.
Oh my gosh, why?
Oh no.
People are just gonna get mail ordered trash, and I love it.
Mail orders. That's actually gonna be once we if we ever do the like I obviously it'll be a joke because I don't want to get married to anyone I'm actually dating, but like the whole wedding thing, that's like a video right there, but it needs to start with you coming out of a large box that I like in the mail.
Yes. Wait, I just realized something.
What?
I shouldn't be trying to sell my feet pics. I should just be selling my trash.
Just sell your literal. I will buy some of your rubbish.
That's
I'm
genius.
down.
Because I'm trash. Why did I not think about this until just now? That was marketing gold, and now the chance is gone because people don't want my feet pics, so why would they want my trash?
If it makes you feel any better, I was going to advertise the fact that you wanted to sell feet pics, but then I don't know what happened at the end of the video, but I was like, oh man, I don't want to not include the whole video, but there was something like, oh guys, I'm selling my feet pics, and I think, or maybe it was your friend that like hit you. I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna bring a positive vibe. Yo, buy my feet pics. I'm in an abusive relationship right now.
So if you guys subscribe to our Patreon at $15, you will also receive
I will sell my trash.
No, I was gonna say foot pic.
Oh, I'll do foot pic and trash. You can choose.
Just
Yeah.
a single foot.
Some people don't like feet, so
I realize we say this
I
now,
don't
and
like
you
feet.
might actually have to do it. Like, if
I'm totally. I can do that. I have no shame at this point.
That's beauty. That is.
So it
beauty.
sounds like all these tiers for the Patreon is just like, which one is, when someone wants to give you money, like, I really don't want the benefits of this, but I really want to support them.
Which was the least painful?
We make it hurt.
$100.
It's the $25 one technically, like, because you get all the shitty stuff, but at least you get like the one good thing in our Patreon, which is
You
the
have to
live
dig,
show
but
that
that's the one
hasn't
thing you're
happened
there
yet.
We should have a $5 tier or a $50 tier, where it's just like, you don't have to get any of this.
Pick one.
Like you get one thing. You only have to pick one thing. You only have to torture you with one thing.
For the cost of a concert, we will blow up your mailbox, or we'll send you feet pics of Trash Z.
Okay, actually, so fun fact today, we do have a $50 tier, and it's every month Zoe and I will send, Zoe or I will send you a letter that just says "lol thanks," which is how I like to send letters. What?
Please.
I just got a notification
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
that Ninja Boss just became a $50 patron.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did
Just
he?
now?
Just now?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my,
just now. I just got the email. It's in our email.
oh my god, he
Literally
did!
6 minutes ago.
Shit, what does he get? Oh, we have to send him a letter every month?
We have to send him a letter every month.
Oh my god. Shout out to Ninja Boss, who literally,
Ninja
as we
Boss?
were talking,
I wonder if he saw us recording and was like, I'm gonna get a shout out right here.
that's how you do it.
I'm gonna get a free shout out right now.
And he did it, man.
This is
my
gonna be the
goodness.
beginning of
Ninja
my
Boss
career.
Ninja Boss just asked if it was a live episode today.
No, this is just this is a recording.
For the cost of one drama queen, you got a one-time shout-out on an hour-long podcast that people
Which
have to
is-
scrub through to find.
Which is what we do anyway for drama queens and most things. It's just like, oh my god, thank you, this person.
Thank you, I apprite that, and goodbye. What?
And
Yeah,
then
that's it.
and then you kick them out.
You kicked them out.
Wait. I've actually kicked people out for gifting too much. That's the thing.
I think you've done that to me.
Yeah. I've had people who've come in and they're like, I'm gonna drop a drama queen, and I kick them immediately.
That's why I don't say anything. I just start dropping money.
I'm taking gifts better now, but I'm just
yeah.
like, if you try to drop a drama queen, I'm going to kick you because I don't need that stress in my life.
I don't
Yeah,
want
I
your
don't-
kindness.
Well, now I'm not going to give you gifts ever again because now I just can send you the money since we do a podcast together.
I know, right?
Then we don't lose half the money in the transfer.
That's true. That's so true.
You gotta
Yeah.
make that one of the tier descriptions. Send $50 to make Tragedy upset.
Send $50 and Chazzy will cry.
Oh my god, I love it.
You won't see it, but trust me, it's happening. All right. We're not done, but we're getting there. So, does anyone have anything else they want to talk about in closing? Oh, Connor, what were you gonna say before Zoe mentioned the notification?
Sorry.
The last thing
Connor?
I talked. Yeah, Connor, are you there?
Hello?
I think his microphone went out.
Oh.
In the arms of the angels.
I guess I could close it then. I guess I can.
So,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
was Connor Taz about to talk about, Roomba?
I wish I was a psychic.
I'm gonna place a guess about what he was gonna talk about.
Okay, go for
I'm
it.
gonna guess, and just because I have context, which I'm gonna guess Connor was gonna talk about the fact that Mr. Pillowsuit, I had sent him a letter to his PO box that just said "lol nerd."
Are you serious?
Yeah, and that's what
I love that.
I hadn't done it yet. That's what inspired the Patreon tier.
I
Oh.
love that.
Because I was like, what do I send him? And I was like, I'm just going to put lol nerd and send it to him. But he said he was going to make a video about it because it was the first and only piece of like thing he's gotten to his PO box. And he was like, actually, I'm just going to like, you mind if I just let Connor do it? And I was like, yeah. And then I think Connor just remembered that was a thing. That's my guess. So Connor, if you're gone for the rest of the episode, please let me know if that's the case. Because I think Connor's dead.
I don't, yeah, I do not know what's going on. Well, so recently you were saying, Trashy, that you were moving. Why? Do you know why that you were, why,
Yeah. So
why you're moving?
I just moved into a temp apartment with my partner, and then I'm moving to Buffalo on the 26th. So if you want to come hang out in Buffalo, don't come find me, please. I'm going to be training for like a whole month.
I'll
you wanna
come
meet me,
find
just
you.
Meet me in like September.
I'm gonna find you.
Wait, can I do this in ASMR?
Yeah, let's
Okay.
do the ASMR
Yeah, go
section.
for it.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So like, I'm going to Buffalo, and then I have my master's degree that I'm pursuing in higher education and student affairs, which is a fancy title to just say that I'm going to be a, let me move my boom mic.
It's time to move the boom.
Which is just a fancy way of saying that I'm going to yell at college students for a living. And I'm going to work in Buffalo as a associate resident director. So
You mean you're gonna be a professional podcaster for a living who also yells at college students?
yes, so if you live,
I like that Roomba is just making noises. They're not actually talking.
it's just it's the money. It's the money ASMR.
Oh yeah, it's very loud. Crinkling money.
I just lost
Sharing
my
that cloud. Okay, I'm gonna back away from this. Is my money
going down the drain.
Alright, I'm gonna do regular voice now.
This is my college tuition.
Yeah, well, guess what? If we all do ASMR, you're the weird one.
Connor!
Oh, hi.
Hi!
Wait, Connor, you need to do some ASMR.
Hey, hi, how's it going? Am I still not showing up on the Discord as myself?
No.
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 So context that
I'm sorry.
on our end, it looks like Roomba and Connor are talking out of the same mic.
They look like
Nice.
the same person.
We are the same person.
Yeah.
I told you, different personas, you know.
Yeah.
One day I'm gonna dye my hair brown, the other day it's gonna be red.
It's a truly. So Connor, what were you gonna talk about?
I forgot. What was it? I went.
So
to
the
go get a
context
milkshake.
was
I'm
I-
being honest. I left to get a milkshake real quick.
Okay, you just disappeared, so we thought you died.
I did.
But
I'll take a
milkshake.
the context was I had just said that our $50 tier involves me like one of us sending a letter that says "lol thanks" every month.
Oh, that's right. So I ended up having some ungodly conversation, like lengthwise, with
Mr.
Mr. Pillowsuit, and he ended up
think I'm
telling me
right.
about how you sent him a letter, and it was the first letter he ever got. And was it that you
Yeah.
said?
Yes.
I guessed what it was, so I was right.
You literally nailed it.
I guessed. Well, it's because I knew that. Because like Joe told me that that's what he like. He's like, I just gave it to Connor and he might report on it. And I had forgotten about it until now.
Or could it be your psychic? I think it's
You're just
because you're psychic. You know, you should at yourself at your psychic channel.
It's actually
Just
my
Pokemon
way of
evolved.
convincing Connor to do a TikTok news on me. That's the secret. Now he can.
Poor Noodle Doodler's like, look, man, I've got content you can roast. There's an inside story with the. I mean, what more do you want, bro?
This is what the podcast has become: is me just begging for you to roast, and you can never
I
roast
brought you
me
on the
because of it.
podcast. Like, come
That's-
on.
I brought you on the podcast twice. One time without any knowledge it was going to happen, which is
Kinda
this
walked in
time.
like, oh, hey, Connor, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Literally, this whole podcast has just been us trying to get Connor to roast us, though, honestly. From the
Yeah.
first episode, we talked
That
about
was
Connor to
we were
now.
like, hey, like in the first episode, like before the first episode, we were texting, we're like, hey, you want to make a podcast? We'll make Connor roast the fuck out of us. And at the end of the first episode, like, wouldn't it be great if we got Connor on the podcast?
Yes.
The secrets.
Still does no roasts on the people that were so generous to
Yeah.
bring me on their podcast.
We're the reason you are what you're. We've made you. I am better than Connor.
We've
Toss.
made you.
God,
If it makes everyone feel any better, I think maybe you can tell me how, and then I'll let Roomba talk. But I'm about to do so. Apparently, if you want to get a lot of clout, if you want to get yourself some clout, you make fun of someone that everyone genuinely likes, has a pretty face, and is known for doing something that has a pretty engaged community. So
Connor, why haven't you roasted me?
I do something on Bucket It Brown.
You should roast Dadley J. Jenkins then.
Dadley J. Jenkinson.
Yes.
No, it's not Jenkinson. Jenkins.
No, Jenkins. Yeah, he fits all of your bullets.
He's a friend of ours. Like, that's all I
Yes.
want.
He does what?
Oh, he does all the
He-
things you just said.
He does drunk TikToks.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
You think I'm a
Exactly.
content goldmine? You refuse.
There's so much there. There's so much there, and he would love it.
So I'm gonna make fun of a guy for being drunk on TikTok.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna make fun of you for liking World War II, so it's only like reasonable at this point.
So I'm gonna go from someone that's making fun of a pretty girl that does cosplay. Look at this guy. He's a drunk.
Oh Jesus!
And he doesn't not know what he's doing. He's gone through the process of pressing the record button, editing it probably a couple times, and posting it. And
Taking
if he wants
a
to
couple of
hashtag, he types
takes.
it out.
Actually, if you want good roast material, he just did a series of point of view road trips, like point of view, but he's doing a road trip with like the person in the point of view, and they're so good, but they're so bad.
That's welcome to TikTok.
Well,
They're so bad.
So if I make this video and he gets upset, maybe a drunken crying spree, I'll be like, yo, in the podcast, your friend said they'd be okay with it.
Just
their
blame it on me.
fault.
Just
They
blame
Blame
it
it
on me.
on
be
Zoe.
okay.
If you say it's Zoe, then he's not gonna get upset. If you say it's me,
He'll
it's
be
also. Yeah, he'll be fine.
The tears are fake.
Yeah,
He doesn't
they'll,
need them
they'll
because I okayed
retract.
it.
They'll retract back into his tear ducts. All right, guys. So before you came back, we were gonna end the episode. So let's. We all got. Jeez. Okay, this has been a great episode. I'm pretty satisfied with the nightmare this is gonna be to edit. So. There's already more than one of us, like one guest, which is going to make it more difficult by default. I'm ready. My audio messed up. Like, I've been sniffling and sneezing this whole time.
I haven't heard you sneeze a single time.
Yeah, I haven't
would've
heard you
said
sniffle
bless
or
you.
sneeze.
But you know
Oh,
what? If
then
anyone wants
I
to
might
go
not have
back
to
and
edit
rewatch
it. We'll see.
or re-listen to it. See if you can. Every sniffle, I will comment something. I don't know what.
Here, I'll turn up the sniffles in post.
Yeah, please do.
I
I want
love
to hear
that.
like a Roomba talking. And you hear.
That's what's happening on my end. Because I am
Alright,
sickest boy. But anyway, so we now have another cheat sheet. I'm going to be honest. We have another cheat sheet for the show. So Zoe, do you want to try to show again?
Yeah, let me pull up my cheat sheet here.
Oh, radio professionals.
Content.
So if you want to send us pictures of you dancing, pictures of you with our merch, which will be awesome.
Pictures of
And-
you not wearing
pictures-
pants, but not showing that you're not wearing pants.
Yeah, just a picture of your torso up and you're like, I'm not wearing pants. Like one of those cringy Snapchat pictures. You can email us at lonelyboyhour, that's BOI, at gmail.com. If you would like to support us, help get Kelvin out of the closet, help get me some merch from Connor, and also help me get some of our own merch because apparently we have to buy our own merch now. You can support us at patreon.com/lonelyboyhour. Again, that's BOI, not BOI. You can find our podcast. Wait, no, actually, that's you can
Okay,
find our podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes.
I'll take it from here. I'm proud of you because that sounded
I
really
got
good.
I got this.
Okay.
Wait, I got this. Hold on. Okay. So, if you want to follow me on TikTok, you can follow me on TikTok at TrashZ. You can also follow me on Instagram with the same username, Twitch with the same username, YouTube with the same username, and you can follow me on Twitter at OriginalTrashZ because I don't get the thing. And Kelvin, where can they find you?
So if you guys want to find me, you can find me on TikTok at The Noodle Doodler. You can find me on YouTube at The Noodle Doodler. Probably don't, though. It's bad. If you guys want to check me out on anything else, it is True Nude Dude, which is TrueNoodDood. Connor, where can we find
Did you
you?
spell it right that time?
Yeah.
You can find me as Connor Taz anywhere that you search. I actually just recently got on Twitter because of wet sneakers, so
You should follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back.
Follow.
And our guest of honor, Roomba, where can they find you?
You can find me in a hut in the back of Trashy's house.
With my 4 videos on TikTok.
He built a hut in the back of Trashy's house.
You can find me on TikTok at Roomba 2017.
And that's your only
Anywhere
social
else?
media, or?
I mean, you could also, yeah, I guess that's my only social media. I need to kind of work on that.
All right, so we like to do this thing that we never tell guests about ahead of time, which is really bad of us, where we recommend a song at the end of the episode. I'll go first. If you guys can think of one, think of one. Mine is actually a song called "I Can Only Write My Name" by Will J, and it's a song about being a foreigner in America, being like a first-generation American, and having to like pretend you're not as foreign as you are. Basically, it's a really good. I think it's a great song.
Are you trying to confess?
Yeah, I'm actually musician Will J. I'm also not a first-generation American. I guess I would be like the 0th. My children would be the first. I was the one who made the move. And so, Zoe, do you have a song for us?
I don't have a specific song. However, I do have an artist that I want people to go look at and listen to their music. Are you ready?
Yes.
It's Furillo Star. That's one word, Furilostar. He's a small creator that I actually saw at Ypsilanti Pride, by where I live, and he's pretty awesome, so you should definitely go check him out.
All right, do either of you have a song choice? Connor, you want to go first?
The song that I've always found myself coming back to, actually thanks to TikTok, is Walkman by Tiny Meat Gang.
All right. Roomba, do you have a song you really like you want to talk about?
Yep. Take Me Home, Country Roads, to the back of my hut where I belong.
Okay. So that is a song, though. So
By John Denver. At
So
John Denver.
I'm worth
Next podcast. Next person going on the podcast,
John
correct?
Denver.
John
Yeah.
Denver. Yep.
Yeah, no. But I actually am I'm working on something right now, and I've gotten some of them. I just haven't made it public yet. But I am officially putting the Lonely Boy Hour playlist on Spotify with every song that we and guests have recommended. I'm working on it right now. I'm going through the episodes. So if you want to listen to that, it should be available by the end of the week, I hope. So
Kelvin, I'll give you an actual song from Furillo Star.
Okay, yeah, pick one
I just have
for
to
me.
look up the good one.
all right, guys. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to get tested.
And hydrate or dihydrate.
Do either of you want to do a closing statement? Connor, do you want to do a closing statement?
I think that's actually more closing statement for the podcast. Yeah, hydrate or
Connor,
dihydrate.
I tossed you a chance to say I mean I
Literally
guess.
have one.
I tossed you a
Is this
chance.
the only TikTok news podcast that people actually listen to? I mean, I guess.
I threw one at you.
That was like a ball straight to the face, and you still didn't catch it.
Remember, do you have a
Like
closing
bewildered. He's like, where'd that come from?
Kelvin held the ball in front of you and was like, "Here," and your hands exploded on impact.
Roomba, just say some words and I'm going to end the podcast.
Please get me out of my hut. You know, I'm trying to survive. You know, trying to make a living on TikTok. You know, trying to be the next Leafy is here. So please get this parasite into more vaccines. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, bye. That's the end of the episode right there. I'm stopping my recording.